Howdy folks, so you remember a couple of videos ago doing the slurry, started off with the Fastrac, jobs are good. I had to swap to the 225, the New Holland, because this developed a fault. So I'm not actually rectifying that today, but I'll tell you a little bit more about it because I didn't really let on what it was. Although we've got a couple, we've got a couple of other jobs I'm going to do today, but I still can't fix like the main problem with it yet. So if I come in here, can you hear that? You might be able to hear that. That's an air leak anyway, and been trying to get the fitting to cure that air leak for months and months. So it's this little puppy here, 1/2 inch straight through to a 3/16 small port there basically. And for the love of God, you cannot find, you know, I've looked everywhere, Darren's looked everywhere, Richard's looked everywhere, and you just cannot find this particular size. So but you could get there with a lot of steps, if you know what I mean. But yeah, this is something that we're 99% sure that only JCB use, because Darren looked up the actual manufacturer of this part and it's not listed on their website at all. So it just seems to be a special thing that JCB have had and made. This is the part number. If you're interested, if you've got that issue. And the other thing with this is this is just one of the things that's slightly annoying. How much is one of these T-pieces, do you think? 10 quid? So, you know, it's fully brass one. Well, it's got the plastic push bits, but essentially it's brass thing. So, what, 10 quid, 12 quid? 84 quid from JCB. 84 bloody quid for that. Talk about a rip-off. So the company that makes this, they probably, you know, probably cost them a £5 or something like that. They'll sell it to JCB for a tenner or whatever. And then no, we'll slap 60, 70 quid on top of that for the customer. So yeah, 84 blooming quid for that little thing. But I've got to have it. There you go. That's just stopped hissing. So that's how quickly that is dropped its air. 5 minutes and the tanks are empty. So yeah, I'm really not impressed, JCB. Luckily my local dealer, Sharman's, give me a bit of a discount on it. So, but still very, very expensive for a 5 quid, 10 quid T-piece. There we go. So we're fitting that. We can fit that now because there's no pressure in the system. We've also got these big puppies to fit. So Fastrac has suffered for quite a long time with sagging suspension. So with an old box on, that was 600k. It was always like touching the bump stops. Even with the Rytec compact box on, which is 330 kilogram empty, probably 400. Yeah, probably about 400k in there as it is, not in there. Probably about 400k as it is. Still sit on the bump stops. So just, so you see in there, just there, that's the bump stop, and it's literally sitting on top of the axle. Now, looking the other day, you can see that bottom ring is not in line with the rest of the coils. It is on the other side, so when you feel around the back of that, you can feel a little crack in it. So that is obviously a weak, it's obviously a crack spring out, so you lose it. Well, you can see it, that bottom coil they're touching. So, but that would affect both sides, but I mean, we're not going to see too much here because of the way the wheels turn. It's still, even this side is touching the bump stop. So these are 23mm diameter coils on here as standard, whereas these are the heavy duty ones and they're 24.88mm. So obviously a bit more sprung load in them lot. So hopefully that'll give me back the comfortable ride, because you can imagine It's basically sat on that bump stop so that you do get, you know, you get a certain amount of spring in the front axle. When it pushes up, and you get a little bit, then it bangs down a little bit like so. These new coils, hopefully, fingers crossed, will make it lovely and smooth again. So we'll get these fitted, get this most expensive T-piece in the world fitted. Then we'll just go on to the other little problem with it that means I can't do a lot with it at the minute. Shock absorber off. Of course, that's coming out the axle. That's better. So the loader's lifted her up, we've got the lifting strop there. I've just blocked the gap between the axle and the chassis up, so now we can pull that out. Come here, don't want you going under there. So that's like the micro spring, and that holds the spring onto the top mount there, and you'll see. Yeah, that bit. Look at that. Yeah, it's been gone a little while, hasn't it, look? So that's scrap. Right, so that's rotated round into its slot there. I've just done that up loosely so that it locates as it comes down. So we're ready to lower down now. Take these chocks out. We'll see if that'll do up. It's gone in on the wonk a little bit there. We'll take a bit of weight off it again. Right, that's all done up. That's in the right spot at the bottom. So we'll just take the weight off the loader, put it on the spring, see what sort of gap we got. Well, that looks better, doesn't it? We've got an inch there now, maybe. Better than that sitting on top of the axle. So you were just getting like that rubber block of suspension lot. So now there's a good inch there, isn't there? Good 30mm maybe. So that's in, that's all good. Like I say, they're 0.2 of a mil, no, 2mm thicker than the old ones anyway. So there should be a bit more rebound on them. So we're now just got to, let's actually have a, although we still can't see because I've still got the wheels turned, but we can just poke in to see what gap we've got. Yeah, see, we've got a similar gap this side now, so that's excellent. So we'll get this other one done, and that should be a lot better. That's interesting. The new coil is not quite as tall as the old one. So that's the new coil. Bang on. Old coil, 23.2 or 23.3. So they are the heavy duty version for this tractor, the older series. And I think they were standard on like the 3230s because they especially the P-tronics, because they were all together a bit heavier. Slightly bigger engine. They had 6.7s in them rather than the 5.9. So they just needed a bit more strength. But I'm wondering why that older one is standing a bit taller. It's obviously the spring's gone on it, so it wants to spring a bit more, I'm guessing. Just working it through in my head, but I think that's probably why it's standing a bit taller, because obviously they lose the springiness, don't they, over the years. So I think that's why. Let me know in the comments. I'm sure that's probably the reason. Anyway, we'll lob this second one in, and job's a good one. All right, so both done now, and yeah, look at that, loads of travel in there. Like, Robert will have a go at me for not putting some nice shiny washers on the ends for the shock bolts there, like. But yeah, I possibly should have got some of the a pair of micro springs as well. They're like a sort of a rubberized springy bit inside of the coil. Just helps with damping, I guess. But I mean, you've got the shock absorber there anyway. But they are pretty rotten. But we'll see how she rides anyway. Can't be any worse, can it? So now it's time to fit the world's most expensive T-piece. Thanks, JCB. Yeah, really appreciate 84 odd quid for one of them. So there's the old one. Yeah, I don't think there's any way of sealing these up or anything, is there? So yeah, that's the old one, and that's the brand spanking new one. It's better blooming seal up, isn't it? So yeah, what this does, I'll just trim this. So what this little T-piece does is basically just take a feed to the air gauge in the cab. That's why there's such a difference on the on the ports. So if I say good, top one. Right, that's all in. Get the air belt up. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll hold on to the air now. There's bound to be other tiny little leaks in the system, but you can't hear any. Only that one for the gauge. So yeah, like within 5 minutes, it was losing its air. So just a pain in the bum. Turn it off. You've got to wait a couple of minutes to build air again. So yeah, we'll get her fired up, compressor blow off, we'll turn her off, and then we'll have I'll tell you basically what the other issue is. And it's out the back window here, look. Yeah, she's blown off. Oh, I can't hear anything. I can't hear anything. There in there. Oh yeah. That was 84 quid or 74 quid after the discount. Well spent. Yeah. Blimey, months I've been trying to get hold of one of them. And finally it's like bit the bullet. Went through Sharman's lot. And yeah, JCB got stock. But it's 81 quid. Like, really? Well, I need it because I can't get one elsewhere. But I have to say, like, JCB had done this before. So when I put these new ball bars on, a few years ago, whenever, I can't remember which way round it was, but one side, say this left-hand side, they had a stock of one, only one in stock. The other side, the right-hand side, for example, had about 5 or 6. And again, I can't remember the exact amounts, but the one that got plenty of stock, 6 or 7 in stock, was 350, something like that. The one that they only got one in stock oh, that was 650 or 700 quid. Just because I've only got one in stock. I mean, come on. I mean, that did really pee me off, but I want, you know, I needed them. So, yeah, it's a bit of a mickey take, isn't it, really? You know, there's no need for, you know, stuff like that. Just, oh, we've only got one in stock, so we'll double the price. Double the price. Yeah, thanks a lot. Anyway, right, so everything we've done so far today has worked absolutely perfectly. So the issue we've got, or that I had the other day, was with the spools. Now, obviously, you remember that Russell Fastrac, he come out well about 5 weeks ago, and put his electric kit on. So they're all electric now, rather than electronic, and put the little joysticks in cab. And did about, like, well, you see the video, sort of did a day with the tanker. Kept blowing fuses for the for the hydraulic circular. What's going on? Anyway, I thought it's a bit of a coincidence, but it just literally was a coincidence. The only thing that Russell doesn't change, or doesn't, you know, his kit doesn't do anything, doesn't change anything, is this solenoid there. So that's the low pressure hydraulic system solenoid activation. So if you remember, there's the, I'll just nip round, there's the switching cab. This switching cab here, that activates and deactivates the hydraulics. So when that's in that position at the minute, obviously you can't activate that toggle because of the little locking switch there. You wouldn't be able to use any of the things. Safety feature. Original fitment on the Fastrac. It's original fitment. Russell just fits that light as an extra indication that the system is activated or deactivated. So that lights up when it's activated, lights up green. So that's what that does. Obviously it's part of the original system. And basically, yeah, that solenoid is burnt out. That's the trouble. That solenoid there is burnt out. And of course, JCB don't do them anymore. So that's really handy. So Russell has managed to sort me out, I think, the whole slice, the whole block thing there, that whole slice that goes on the end, to get me going again. So yeah, so it's nothing that Russell Fastrac's done. It's the, you know, it's 20 years old, that solenoid. So that's the trouble you have, like, nothing he's touched. But yeah, I was quite surprised, like, you know, I was like going along quite nice, and it's popped and started popping and popping even more. And then when I was like, well, this isn't no good, actually testing it, have everything unplugged, fuse in, doesn't pop. So it's not the wiring light, because you just pull the plugs out the back of the valves there, like, and pulled that one as well. Plugged all the spools back in, nothing. Take them all out again. As soon as you plug that solenoid in, pop. And it's a bit deja vu. Do you remember the start-stop solenoid on the FW? Well, do you remember that started to catch fire, didn't it? Which is exactly what this would have done if obviously it wasn't going through the fuse, through the fuse system. So yeah, so that lovely solenoid there is shorted out. It's give up the ghost after 20 years, and so they've got that coming. That hopefully will be here this week. So then I can have spools back again. So I had them for a little glimmer, little glimpse, and it's beautiful. And then took away from me again. So yeah, the poor old Fazzy, we will get there with a light, you know. Do seem to keep spending money on it, but you know. But I'm really keen about them springs now, so she should ride a lot better, because it was all right. Obviously, you have a plough on the back or whatever, you got the, you know, it lifts the front up. But now with trailer in and all that sort of stuff, with the box on all the time, that'll be mint. Yeah, so that's coming hopefully this week. We'll get that changed, and then we'll have all the spools back. And there won't be, I don't think there's any jobs to do on it then. I'm sure she'll create a job for me to do, but I think we are getting there. Anyway, that's enough of this video. I think it's quite a long one. There we go. Hope you enjoyed that. See you on the next one. Ta-ta.